Falcon 9 is in startup.
Dragon D countdown. FTS is armed. Falcon 9 is in startup and is now controlling.
50 seconds now until liftoff. That FTS you heard is flight termination.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX, this is Resilient. Roger, go.
Go for launch, and at 37 seconds, the International Space Station flying over Kennedy Space Center.
All for one, Crew 1 for all.
Crew Dragon poised to go catch it. "20 seconds till liftoff.
T-minus 15 seconds. Falcon 9 is configured for flight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
And resilience rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all.
M1E propulsion is nominal.
That's the word we want to hear. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
As 30 seconds into this historic mission, flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9. Stage 1 is preparing to throttle down. This is in preparation for max Q, which is maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Stage 1, throttle down.
There's that call out for throttle down.
Power and telemetry continue to be nominal for the vehicle, now traveling at 262 meters per second.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
There's that call out. The Falcon 9 is supersonic, and we will be passing through max Q here shortly, the largest structural load during ascent.
Max Q.
And there's that call out. That Falcon has passed through
Stage
max
1,
Q.
throttle up.
1 Bravo.
And we've just entered Stage 1 Bravo abort mode. That's going to take them through the end of the first stage burning just before second stage activates off the coast of North Carolina. T plus 1 minute and 40 seconds into flight. Dragon and Falcon 9 traveling 709 meters per second. That call that MVAC chill is underway, the Merlin vacuum engine.
Now with the call out of MVAC de-chilling, similar to what we saw in the first stage Merlin engines, the second stage engine being prepared for its ignition coming up in just over 30 seconds from now. We're a half a minute away from 3 quick events in rapid succession. We're going to get main engine cut off. The 9 Merlin engines will throttle down and then shut down. We're going to get stage separation.
Stage 1, throttle down.
And then ignition of the second stage engine. We've begun the throttle down in preparation for stage separation.
And we have
2 Alpha.
Stage separation confirmed.
And you see that stage separation has confirmed. There goes that MVAC engine. Stage 2. Crew 1 is now on their way to the International Space Station. On the right side of your screen, you see Stage 2 continuing to burn. Over on the left-hand side is Stage 1 preparing for its return to Earth.
Currently, outside, you can't make out much. It's a couple hours after sunset in Florida, but the grid fins have deployed on the first stage. The first stage is now unpowered, but with the velocity it had, it continues to coast up to an apogee before it begins to descend back into Earth's atmosphere. Now, as we watch, we'll see the lights of Florida or the eastern seaboard in the background, but otherwise, there's not going to be much to see. On the right-hand side.
Dragon, SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
You can hear the call out. Trajectory is nominal.
Copy. Nominal trajectory.
And we've heard the call out Bermuda. That means Bermuda ground station has the signals from the second stage of the Dragon and Falcon 9.
We're still continuing as stage 2 burns to listen for those abort zones. We are now in 2A through 2E to Echo, taking us up over the northern Atlantic.
Right now you can see the second stage engine glowing with the standard red that we have come to see over all these missions. Indicates everything's looking good. Power on the MVAC-D engine continues to run at 220,000 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of outer space.
Dragon SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
And trajectory nominal.
Copy. Nominal trajectory.
And we hear the reply from the crew acknowledging we have a nominal trajectory. Dragon made it to the Falcon 9 second stage, heading into the low Earth orbit, where Dragon will then separate and begin its trip the rest of the way to the space station.
We'll be looking for SECO, second stage engine cutoff, coming up at 8 minutes and 48 seconds after launch today. So about 3.5 minutes from now, Dragon and Falcon 9, second stage, currently flying 2,979 meters per second.
Now, currently, the first stage has begun its descent. It is through apogee. It's beginning to come back down, where it, coming up in another couple of minutes, we will have the entry burn, where we begin to slow down the
Dragon
first stage.
SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
Copy. Nominal trajectory.
Another call out, another nominal trajectory, just what we love to hear.
That voice you're hearing on board Dragon, that's Commander Mike Hopkins speaking for our 4-person crew as they continue their journey now 6 minutes and 12 seconds after liftoff. Trajectory still nominal.
And Leah, you can see on the indicator altitude, 201 kilometers. We're now beginning to essentially level out and pick up velocity to get us into low Earth orbit. We're a little under 1 minute from the ignition for the entry burn on first stage.
And we're about 2 minutes away.
Dragon SpaceX, trajectory nominal.
Copy. Nominal trajectory.
Great news, now 7 minutes after launch. Second stage engine continues to burn, everything looking good. And we'll see that continue to burn for another 1 minute and about 38 seconds.
Right now on stage 2, the crew's getting about a little more than 2.5 G's of acceleration. First stage preparing to ignite for the entry
Stage 2
burn.
FTS saved.
And we've got ignition of the entry burn, center engine, followed by the other 2 restart engines. First stage now getting ready to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. This is about a 29-second burn, and it's designed to slow the vehicle way down. We're going to shed about 70% of the velocity of that dropping first stage by the time this landing burn completes. I should say by the time the entry burn completes, which is now over. First stage on target for the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Meanwhile, we're watching second stage getting close to getting into orbit.
That's right, we've got about 30
Stage
seconds
2 internal
more.
guidance.
And now just about 20 seconds more of stage 2 continuing to burn until we see second stage engine cutoff, or SECO. We'll coast for a few minutes afterward to allow the rates in motion
Shannon.
to...
Roger,
And
Shannon.
There's that call for Shannon. That's Shannon, Ireland, an abort zone, but it looks like we continue smoothly to orbit today.
MVAC shut down.
And we've got shutdown of the second stage engine on time.
Dragon SpaceX, nominal orbit insertion.
Launch escape system is disarmed.
And SpaceX copies.
And Leah, the words we like to hear, a nominal orbit insertion.
That's right, John. Nominal orbit insertion, as we mentioned, stage 2. Oh, looks like some action on stage 1. And I believe we've had a touchdown on the drone ship.
We've got stage 1 has touched down on the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. But now the more important news, second stage is in orbit, right where we want, right on time. And we're getting ready for our next major activity, which will be Dragon spacecraft separation. Now, currently on the second stage, we are essentially venting pressure, purging the engine out, making sure everything is quiet in preparation.
Take a look. That's inside Crew Dragon right now. Our Crew 1 crew now coasting in low Earth orbit, still attached to that second stage. In just a couple of minutes, we should see that second stage separate, and Crew Dragon will be flying free.
Leah, the mission timer shows 90 seconds to Dragon separation.
Currently, Dragon is flying at 27,000 kilometers an hour. And we're T plus 11 minutes since liftoff today, waiting on that second stage separation. But as you can see, our astronauts from left to right, Shannon Walker, Victor Glover, Mike Hopkins, and Soichi Noguchi, now on their way to the International Space Station. First trip to space for Victor Glover.
Acquisition of signal, Newfoundland.
And that call out, acquisition of signal in Newfoundland. That means the Newfoundland ground station is now receiving telemetry from Dragon. This view inside Mission Control Hawthorne. Teams continuing to monitor the vehicle, now traveling at almost 27,000 kilometers an hour.
Ten seconds to Dragon separation.
Dragon separation confirmed.
And separation confirmed. You can see that second stage departing. Crew Dragon leaving it behind.
Separation confirmed.
Now 12 minutes, 25 seconds into today's flight. Our next thing we'll be looking for is nose cone deploy. Our hooks will start to open on the nose cone and reveal those forward thrusters underneath. "13 minutes into today's mission, the view on the right-hand side of your screen coming from Crew Dragon. We had that short look at the second stage as it departed. That second stage will burn up upon re-entry into Earth's atmosphere.
Dragon SpaceX, we see nominal service section Draco checkouts and the humidifier activation.
And SpaceX, this is Dragon. We copy all and we see the same.
Confirmation from teams on the ground and the crew. You can see them monitoring those 3 display panels, monitoring their journey to the International Space Station and where they are in the world right now, or over the world, I should say.
Well, we're in 14 minutes, 25 seconds since it was a great liftoff. Everything happened. We had a nominal insertion into low Earth orbit. You saw Dragon separate. We got the Draco checkouts were good. And right now we're hearing the nose cone hooks are opening up. Everything is happening right per the procedure. And we've got Crew 1 successfully on orbit. So with that, let's head over to our counterparts at Kennedy Space Center. Marie, how was that launch for you all there on the ground?
Oh my gosh, John, it just took our breath away. I mean, we could just turn right around in our seats and watch. We got up away from the desk to get a better look, and then we actually could see the booster coming back down.
Yeah, that was outstanding, and I don't even know what to say. High five. We're like high-fiving through the shield here.
High five. My husband texted me a picture of my daughter watching liftoff. It was just, I'm emotional. Seeing that, and we went on the first attempt. How often does that happen in human space flight?
As it should.
I'm very happy. It has been a long day, but just to be able to stand there and actually feel the rocket pounding the air around you was just. It was just incredible. And then looking at the light too long, I couldn't see the MVAC ignition. So I still have spots in my eyes.
And then the views inside the capsule too, with the 4 of them, looking kind of mellow, but you could see Victor's kind of letting his arms do a little bit of the floaty thing. I bet he cannot wait to get out of his seat.
Well, he's going to get a chance to here shortly. So he's officially on his way on his first space flight.
So
Incredible.
Victor, Mike, Shannon, and Soichi are now on course to arrive at the International Space Station just tomorrow, Monday, November 16th, around 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
We are just about 30 minutes or so from docking, with currently Dragon approaching waypoint 1. Waypoint 1 is approximately 220 meters away from station.
And you heard Kate Rubens, who is monitoring this mission and the arrival of Crew Dragon. She discussed, she used the term RPOP, that stands for Rendezvous and Proximity Ops Program, and so that is giving her insight into Dragon's position and how it's moving in toward the International Space Station. She'll have some work to do once Dragon arrives, but not until it gets there. But once Dragon arrives, the Node 2 hatch where they are docking is currently closed on the station side.
Dragon SpaceX on the Big Loop, approach 1 and soft capture ring extension will begin shortly. Dragon will continue approach to waypoint 2.
Now we passed through waypoint 1, so we're about 10 minutes away from waypoint 2. Once we approach waypoint 2, then we will do a go-no-go poll for docking. So we're, again, around 30 minutes away from docking here, depending on the timeline, when we reach each one of these points. But we're on our way to waypoint 2, which will bring us about 20 meters in front of the space station.
Station Houston on Space Ground 2 for Kate. Ground 2. All right, Kate, SSC 17 is back up and running for you. We're working on 4 now. In addition, let us know when your review is complete and you are ready for docking.
Copy, and I saw SSC working. It's giving me good range and range rate. Now I've got another RPOP is not receiving Dragon 2 data from PCS message on 17.
Copy that, Kate. We'll take a look. Thanks for the extra info.
We've now reached waypoint 2, so we are holding this position. Going to do some
and I do have a good Dragon docking system view on SOC 17 for the Dragon docking streaming monitor, and I have a good out the window view, so I am comfortable and my review is complete.
Copy all. Thank you.
Great news from Kate Rubens. She has the data she's looking for and a great view of Crew Dragon out the window as well. So she's given her go for them to depart waypoint 2 and move into the International Space Station. As a reminder, we moved directly through waypoint 1, which put us directly in front of the docking port. You can see it right here. That's the Node 2 forward port where Dragon docked during Demo 1 and Demo 2.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. The ground is go for approach 2. At this point, please confirm that the lighting conditions are acceptable to proceed, and let us know if you are go for approach 2 and docking.
Okay, SpaceX, this is Dragon on the big loop. So the lighting is actually getting worse. We do have a view of the IDA, but we do not have a view of the docking target.
In Dragon SpaceX, we copy. We are 6 minutes from sunset. Would you like to hold for those 6 minutes, or do you feel comfortable proceeding?
Bye. And SpaceX from Dragon, we'll go ahead and hold for those 6 minutes if we can.
We copy hold.
And as a reminder, waypoint 2 is about 20 meters away from station. We are on the docking access, and Dragon will be aligning itself with that docking port. We're just holding for some sunlight.
The space station has crossed the terminator line, the difference in day and nighttime on Earth. They are east of Hawaii right now in the Pacific Ocean, and they are waiting for the sun to set on orbit. Crew Dragon will be able to use its infrared camera to spot that docking target on the APAS hatch on Node 2, and then they'll be able to proceed, leaving waypoint 2, making their 5-minute journey approximately to docking.
And I should correct what I mentioned earlier. They're waiting for the sun to go down so that they don't have any shadows, so that Dragon can actually see clearly and locate, align itself with that docking port.
And it looks like we might be about a minute away from sunset. So we should be hearing that call that they're ready to proceed. Again, there's no rush. And there's also no need for the crew to fly Dragon. This is all happening autonomously. Just a few more seconds until sunset. And you can see it did get quite a bit darker. And that flash on the Node 2 docking port coming from Crew Dragon.
Dragon on the big loop. Looks to us like we've gone through sunset, and we got the lights strobing. We can see the target, and so we are going to proceed. Visors are down.
Copy. You are go to proceed and visors are down. That's great to hear. We will be commanding the resume shortly. And as a reminder, once Dragon is inside the crew hands-off point, retreat and breakout are not permitted.
Dragon copies all.
Station copies all. I'm ready.
Final approach has begun. Crew Dragon moving in toward the International Docking Adapter on Node 2. Kate Rubin standing by on the International Space Station, monitoring their approach.
And this should only take approximately 5 minutes. We are now about 15 meters away, just about 3 minutes from docking.
Very slow, deliberate, steady movements for Crew Dragon making its way to the International Space Station.
And SpaceX from Dragon on the big loop, we show 10 meters. We've got good lighting, good visuals.
Great to hear. We see 10 meters as well.
Even though it looks very slow right now, both Dragon and the International Space Station are traveling about 17,500 miles an hour over Earth right now, both about 262 statute miles over the planet.
What you could see directly in the center of the docking adapter, that is the APAS hatch. Once we do a hard capture and do leak checks, that will be the first hatch that will open, followed by the Dragon hatch.
If you look closely in the center at the very bottom, there was Chop, crew hands-off point, standing by for contact.
Dragon SpaceX, soft capture confirmed.
Dragon copies, and we see the same.
As you heard that call out, soft capture is now complete. Next will be hard capture. This is where the pins will insert themselves into that docking adapter and create a hard lock.
And we had that soft capture at 8:01 p.m. Pacific time, 11:01 p.m. Eastern time. Crew Dragon and the International Space Station flying 262 statute miles over Idaho.
Dragon SpaceX, soft capture ring retraction in progress.
That is Kate Rubins aboard the International Space Station, stepping through the procedures to bring Crew Dragon on board. And the hatch she just opened obviously is on the station side of Node 2. That is the pressurized mating adapter hatch. She's got several more steps on her side to go. Meanwhile, the crew aboard Crew Dragon will be doffing their suits or taking them off, drying and stowing them. They'll also be stowing any of the equipment that they used.
Station on Space 2, the forward hatch is open and the MPES is uncapped. In step 1.2 and 1.3, there was no delta P drop.
Copy all.
And that was Kate just confirming that that hatch is now open.
You See Kate Rubens ingressing the pressurized mating adapter. She'll also need to conduct, she'll need to pressurize the vestibule. That's the next hatch. That's the space between Crew Dragon and the International Space Station, that vestibule area. And the APAS hatch was what was exposed to the vacuum of space prior to Crew Dragon's arrival, so we want to make that the same pressure as what's inside Crew Dragon and the space station.
Right now on your screen, if you're just now joining us, you are looking at a live view of Dragon docked to the International Space Station. The crew still inside Dragon, preparing for hatch opening. They're out of their suits now, getting into some more comfortable clothes. Their suits are currently drying, and depending on how long these processes take for the leak checks and pressurization of the vestibule, the crew will be boarding shortly, and we'll be having a welcome ceremony.
Yeah, and this all comes after soft capture of the Crew Dragon vehicle happened at 8:01 p.m. Pacific time tonight, 11:01 p.m. Eastern time. Crew Dragon and the International Space Station flying 262 statute miles over Idaho. This is a live look inside the International Space Station, and we've been covering the arrival of the Crew Dragon Crew 1 mission. Now having arrived at the International Space Station, docking coming at 8:01 p.m. Pacific time, 11:01 p.m. Eastern time, as the International Space Station was flying 262 statute miles over Idaho. And since that time, there have been several steps through which the Crew Dragon crew and the crew aboard the International Space Station, Kate Rubens, as you see here, they needed to step through those before we can welcome the crew aboard. And this arrival kicks off a 6-month mission for the crew members. Our crew of 4, Commander Mike Hopkins, Pilot Victor Glover, Mission Specialist Shannon Walker, and our international partner, Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Soichi Noguchi.
Station Houston, Space Ground 2 for Kate.
Hey, with you on 2.
Okay, while we are troubleshooting the ISS experience here on the ground, you are go for Dragon Ingress Part 2.
That's excellent. I just opened it. All right, copy go for the ingress part 2, and I'm stepping in on step 3.1. Do I have a go for the APAS equalization valve open?
And that's correct, Kate, your go.
Copy go, thanks. APAS equalization valve is open.
Use copy.
So Kate just opened up the equalization valve, and this will let air in to the vestibule from the space station. We'll be monitoring.
I'll wait for your go in step 3.2 since you've got better insight.
And we are equalized. You are go.
Go.
So As our crew launched at 7:27 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday, coming up on about 29 hours since their launch, and their journey began in the Crew Dragon vehicle.
Houston Station on Spacecraft 2, step 3.3, GMT 524.
Copy 524.
Kate Rubens is in the pressurized mating adapter, now working on the A-pass hatch. She is installing a tool on the hatch that's used to open it. As we heard earlier, the pressure is equal, or the space between the A-pass hatch and the Crew Dragon hatch is pressurized. Once Kate Rubens opens the A-pass hatch, she may get a look at the crew. There is a small window on the forward hatch of Dragon underneath the nose cone. During DM2, I believe we got a peek at Bob Benkin and Doug Hurley inside Crew Dragon after it had docked through that very window. Meanwhile, Kate Rubens taking some pictures to share with the ground later. These are still very new operations for the International Space Station, and so gathering this data and relaying it to the ground helps inform future spaceflight.
Houston Station on 2, stepping into 3.6 for A-pass hatch open.
Copy all.
Houston Station on 2, confirm this is a pull straight out for the A-pass hatch.
You are correct, Kate, and it usually does take a bit of a pull.
All right, I didn't want to put force into the system unless you guys were expecting it, but it is definitely got some good self-sealing there from the vacuum.
We are with you.
Kate Rubens now preparing to open that A-pass hatch, making sure what she's experiencing is nominal. The ground confirms it may be a little tough to open up that hatch.
This is the whole call Houston and check before you deadlift it up. It's open.
Copy all.
Rubens confirming the A-pass hatch is open, and now we can see it for ourselves. Taking a look inside with the flashlight. She will also remove that docking target that Crew Dragon used to align itself with Node 2 when making its approach earlier today.
And a really cool shot from Dragon, seeing Kate inside of that vestibule. Kate saying hi to the world.
Just getting in there, getting a good look at the hatch seals, looking for any condensation before they proceed.
Houston Station on Space to Ground 2 in step 4.1, the A-pass hatch is open, and the pressure, the IDA vestibule does not have any condensation upon inspection. Looks pretty nice. The last time I saw it was the outside of the IDA vestibule, and there appear to be 4 smiling crew members on the other side.
Copy. All configuration as expected.
And as Liam mentioned, she was able to get a glimpse inside of Dragon at the 4 crew members waiting to board the International Space Station.
Houston and Moscow, station is ready for Dragon hatch equalization. Sorry, not Moscow, SpaceX.
And SpaceX, this is Dragon, 6.1 at 4.400. Dragon is ready for hatch equalization.
SpaceX copies.
ISS and Dragon, stand by for equalization, expected to take 5 minutes. Additionally, please note that we will be hot mic'd for the duration of ingress. Finally, for you, Kate, if you could please meet PACOM on Space to Ground 3, we have additional troubleshooting steps for you.
Okay, copy. And my apologies to SpaceX. I came up in a different vehicle, but I'm really excited to see this one, and I'm switching over to Space to Ground 3.
This is Mission Control Houston. The team here in the International Space Station Flight Control Room has been following along all night. They're coming to the end of their shift as we near the opening of the hatch on the SpaceX Dragon. Kate Rubens has been working steadily through the procedure on her side of the hatch while the Crew Dragon crew members do their part on the other side. So we are expecting to see that just in the next few minutes, scheduled to take place at 12:10 a.m. Central Time, but could be a little early. And once we do see all of the crew members on board together, we'll be ready to go into our welcoming ceremony that will be following that. Taking part in that welcoming ceremony, we are going to have the NASA Associate Administrator for Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate, Kathy Leaders, and the JAXA, or the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency President, Dr. Yamakawa Hiroshi. They will be talking with the crew as part of the welcoming ceremony as the Crew Dragon members, that's Mike Hopkins, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, and Soichi Noguchi, joining the Expedition 64 crew for the first time.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. You are go for hatch opening per your decal, followed by the remaining actions in procedure 4.400, section 6.
Dragon copies. And hatch open per the decal and remaining steps in section 6 of 4.400.
Here, there, the team on the ground giving the crew on board the Crew Dragon the go to open their side of the hatch, which is what we've been waiting for. So we should be seeing them floating through across the threshold to the International Space Station momentarily. For Mike Hopkins, Shannon Walker, and Soichi Noguchi, this will be a return visit to the International Space Station. Mike was there in 2014 for Expedition 3738 when he spent 166 days.
SpaceX, this is Dragon on the big loop, 6.6, 4.400. Hatch is open.
We copy. Hatch open. Great to hear.
And as you can see, they do have that hatch open now. They called down that came right at 12:02 a.m. Central Time. Hatch is between the two vehicle open. Now we're just waiting for the crew to head to the International Space Station. Looks like they are waving hello to their new crewmates now.
And Houston, this is Dragon on the big loop. INV duck installation is complete. You are go for INV fan activation.
Houston copies.
Crew finishing up some intra-module ventilation work there, getting air flowing between the space station and the Crew Dragon before they do make their way across the hatch. But again, that hatch is open now. That came at 12:02 a.m. Central Time. As I was saying a moment ago, this will be Mike Hopkins' second visit to the International Space Station. He was last there in 2014. Same for Shannon Walker. She was there in 2010 for Expedition 24 and 25 and spent 163 days on board the space station. Soichi Noguchi has been to the space station twice before for STS-114 in 2005 and in 2009 for Expedition 22 and 23. He's got 177 days already in space. But this will be the first time for Victor Glover to pass across the hatch and visit the International Space Station, kicking off their months-long stay in space when the space station will, for the first time, have 7 crew members on board for a full expedition.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2, you are go in step 6.3.
And Houston from Dragon, was that a go for us to continue?
You are correct, Hopper. That's your go in step 6.3.
Copy, inward.
Seeing 2/3 of the current Expedition 64 crew here. Kate Rubins, of course, with NASA, and then the Expedition Commander, Sergei Ryzhikov, there on the right side of the screen. They, along with Sergei Kuzberchkov, have all been at the space station since October 14th. And there they are, first across the hatch, Mike Hopkins. And here's Victor Glover. You heard the crew here, the team here in Mission Control cheering to see them come across the hatch. There's Shannon Walker. And finally, Soichi Noguchi bringing up the rear. 4 new members, bringing the total Expedition 64 crew to a total of 7. Ready to increase the space station science and get to work. For those who have still been hanging with us, we are now coming up on the time for our hatch opening or welcome ceremony. That is scheduled for 12:40, about 5 minutes from now. And at that time, the entire crew will be joining on the with a couple of special guests from the ground. That's going to be NASA Associate Administrator for Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate, Kathy Leaders, joining here from Houston. And then from Scuba Japan, we're going to have the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency President, Dr. Yamakawa Hiroshi, joining as well. They'll be taking part in the welcoming ceremony, which is coming up in just 5 minutes now. The crew's done the necessary checkouts on board, so we'll just wait for everybody to gather before we begin that.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event? Houston, are you ready for the event?
And Houston, this is Station. And Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
Mr. Morhard, please call Station for a voice check. Call Station for a voice check. Miss Leaders, please call Station for a voice check. Please call Station for a voice check.
Hi, this is Kathy Leaders. Hi, this is Kathy Leaders here at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. How do you hear me? How do you hear me?
Hello, Kathy. We hear you loud and clear.
Wow, I can't tell you how great it was to see you all come across the hatch. It means a lot to me.
Just means a lot to me.
On behalf of the joint SpaceX and NASA team, who you know have expended a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and our nation who's been following along with you as you guys have been going on your journey. I can't tell you how proud we are of you, and how much we want to congratulate you
mission.
for this historic.
It's been really cool to watch you.
Well, thank you, Kathy. We just want to say thank you to everybody, SpaceX, NASA, the DoD, just all across the nation. It's been an incredible journey, and it's really amazing that this is marking the start of operational crew rotation missions to the International Space Station from the Florida coast, and so it was an amazing ride. I can't tell you how excited we were when that rocket lifted off the pad, and then the last 27 hours has gone really smooth, actually. And so we are so excited to be here. We are humbled, and we are excited to be a part of this great expedition. And so we are looking forward to the next 6 months and can't wait to get started.
Yeah, thank you for letting me get to say hello to you all and being there a little bit on station with you all. And I just want to tell you how proud we are of you. We're expecting a lot from you, a lot of good work up there. Not only are we proud in this nation of you, but our international partners are extremely proud of you. And I know I have some folks in Japan that also want to give you some greetings. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Mission Control.
Thank you, Ms. Leaders. We now welcome JAXA President Dr. Yamakawa Hiroshi to provide remarks. Dr. Yamakawa, please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Yamakawa. How do you hear me?
Yamakawa-san, we hear you loud and clear. This is International Space Station.
Thank you, Noguchi-san. We were very much excited about your launch this morning. It inspired courage and delight of all Japanese citizens to bear up COVID-19 pandemic. Anyway, I really feel relieved by your safe arrival to the station now. Noguchi-san, it is very significant for JAXA that you are on board the first operational spacecraft of Crew Dragon and was launched from the American soil. I believe that this is the outcome of the long-standing partnership with NASA and all the other international partners. I also believe that your efforts at ISS from today will take on more importance on the ISS utilization and operations, and for future international space exploration beyond the low Earth orbit to the Moon and Mars. We are always behind you. Good luck and enjoy your time in space. Noguchi-san, 皆さん、全集中で頑張ってください。
Thank you, Dr. Yamakawa. Thank you for the kind words. And we are very humble and happy to be here. This is the first operational flight of the Crew Dragon. And I take 27 hours, but we enjoy every moment. And from now on, we are part of this great expedition crew member, Expedition 64. We have a lot of utilization ahead of us, and we are ready to work. 日本の皆さん、そして山川理事長、本当にありがとうございます。この ISS にまた戻ってくることができてとても、感無量です。日本の皆さん、そして世界中の皆さん、今年は、コロナはじめ非常に厳しい状況があったかと思いますけれども、この困難に打ち勝つという気持ちで我々もレジリエンスと名前をつけて、頑張ってきてます。理事長おっしゃられた通り、全集中で頑張りたいと思います。応援本当にありがとうございます。
Thank you, Ms. Leaders and Dr. Yamakawa, for your participation in the Crew 1 welcome ceremony. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communication.